So it's about 9 a.m. on Monday, February 28th, 2022. As you can see, that's the VIP club of the Premier Palace Hotel. I'm walking down to Krashatik, and I'm going to the supermarket to get some food. They've announced that it's okay to go to supermarkets and pharmacies. The problem that we're having is that because of the weapons that the Zelensky regime handed out willy-nilly in the last few days, a lot of criminals have these military-grade weapons, quite frankly. And so there's been robberies, there's been looting, there's been rapes, there's been all kinds of havoc because of these criminals. And it's known for a fact that these a lot of the shooting that went on last night in Kiev had nothing to do with the Russians. The Russians were 10 kilometers or more away from these shootings, so it was clearly probably gang-related, gang settling scores, and shooting one another. That's something that the Western media is not talking about, of how the Zelensky regime, by handing out weapons, has basically given weapons to all the criminal elements in the city. And the criminal elements in the city are, first of all, figuring out their dominance hierarchy in this anarchy that the government has created. And soon enough, once that's settled, they'll start targeting the civilians. That's what the Zelensky regime has done, okay? So let's not pretend otherwise. These people have they are creating chaos in Ukraine in the name of, the people fighting against the Russians. It's absurd, it's irresponsible, and it will only hurt the Ukrainian people. And I've come to the conclusion that the Zelensky regime is evil. And I live in Ukraine. I have Ukrainian family members. I think that the Ukrainian people are a brave, gentle, and wonderful people. But at this time, I think that the Zelensky regime has gone insane and should be Anyway, for those people, there have been some people who've claimed that I'm lying about being in Ukraine. As you can see, this is Krashatik Avenue. I'm standing right in the middle of it. This is probably a first in history. I'm standing right in the middle of Krashatik Avenue, and you can see in the distance everything. And yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry if I sound a little frazzled, but I'm actually worried about getting shot, man. Not shot by the Russians or shot by the Ukrainian army, but shot by fucking criminals that the Zelensky regime has armed here in Kiev. Dude, I'm so fucking angry, man. These fuckers are creating chaos. And this will not stop the Russians. That's the thing. It will only cause the death of civilians. The death and suffering of civilians, so that Zelensky can have a fucking photo op. That's what's going on. And here I am. I don't know if you can see it. I'm here in Maidan Square, here in Kiev. This is a bad angle to shoot this. I should move so the sun isn't behind me. But yeah, here it is. Actually, there's no way to get around it. Here I am in the middle of Maidan Square in Kiev. Yeah, let me show you around. And there you have the Hotel Ukraina, which is like an old Soviet hotel, the co-op. I'm gonna go there and see if I can get some razor blades and deodorant. And here, as you can see, look at all the system pigs. Look at all the press people there, gathered up in a scrum, feeding the narrative, feeding the lies that they tell the Western people, feeding all kinds of bullshit. That's the truth of the matter. And here, there's a lone little outpost of the system pigs, Okay, that was a shot fired. That is, wait, I'm waiting. No, that's not an army. That's some random guy with one of the AK-47s that the government handed out, or AK-74s actually. But yeah, that was not small arms exchange between fighters. Those shots were the same gun, and it must be some score settling between criminals, like I said before. Okay, there isn't any fucking pharmacy that's open. So wait, co-op, let me go and check out the co-op, and I'll update later. I know this isn't very well filmed, but you see those two people there? There's a woman and a man. See, far away there? That's the best I can do. Sorry about that. It's something's off with my camera. I think it's just whatever, it's failing. But the point is, you see them, right? See, those people? It was a Ukrainian soldier. I mean, he looked like a non-commissioned officer, right? Sergeant or something. And the woman was clearly a foreigner. And she's a good-looking woman, yeah? Like late 20s. And she was talking to him in Russian. But you could tell she was a foreigner, okay? Her demeanor and whatnot. And I realized who she is. She's a person in the media. A producer, a reporter, who knows? I mean, she looked like a producer, okay? She had that look because on-air talent tends to be more put together, makeup and whatnot. But that woman had like gear dangling, and there was that vibe that, yeah, she's a producer. And she was like flirting with this squat little Ukrainian non-commissioned officer, NCO, flirting with him. And he was like, excited, of course. A good-looking girl pays attention to you. I don't care what your name is. It's going to turn you on. You're a guy, right? And, you could tell what she was doing. She was pumping him for information, Pumping him for information and flirting with him like a fucking whore to get something out of him. Huh? That's the press. That's the press. You got to understand, they don't give a fuck about you. They just use you. They just use you to pump you for information. And they'll use whatever they have at their disposal to pump you for information, get as much out of you as possible, and then discard you. Okay? And then later, if you ever need their help, they're going to say like, dude, I don't even know you. Who the fuck are you? Get out of here. That's what they'll say. Because they're that kind of people. I'm at the hotel. It's full of fucking press people, right? And I heard some Spanish journalists from El País. And if you fuckers from El País are listening, I'm here to tell you, they were talking in Spanish and shitting on the workers at the hotel who were feeding them breakfast, shitting on them and complaining, why don't they bring us the food earlier? This is, unconscionable, They used such a despective tone towards the working people at the hotel, the people there working at the hotel who don't need to be there. And it was so despicable. And I have to say, on this video, if you're from El País, you're an editor from El País, that's how your reporters are fucking behaving here. I mean, like, there was another reporter who all of a sudden had a complete meltdown because he claimed that his telephone had been stolen, right? And I mean, I didn't pay attention because I knew exactly what was going on. The guy panicked. He's stressed out. We're all stressed out, We're all stressed out, and the guy panicked and freaked out and called security, somebody stole my phone. I mean, he was like really having a meltdown, right? And soon enough, like 3-4 minutes later, he found his fucking phone. But the man had the courtesy or the decency to stand up in front of everybody and say, I'm sorry, I found my phone, I just misplaced it, I'm sorry, all's well that ends well. I mean, like, when it was happening, I knew that he just misplaced it. I mean, I've misplaced tons of stuff because of the stress, It's perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal, and I appreciate the fact that he, apologized to everybody there in the breakfast room, right? So, all's well that ends well. But those people, that woman rather, that shit, and the reporters from El País, and I'm telling you, man, if you're from El País, an editor or whatever, or you're one of those fucking journalists, because one of those fuckers got in my fucking face. Cabrón, puto culiao, si te veo de nuevo y te ponía en mi cara, te voy a romper esa cara, culiao. ¿Entendiste? Hijo de puta. And that's a message, of parentheses, just for that cocksucker. Anyway, the fucking thing is fucking closed, man. All the Pharmacies are closed. I'm never gonna get fucking shaved, man. I'm gonna look like a fucking gorilla.